All right, policy somersaults in whatever guise continues to hinder the progress of Nigeria. The Senate has commenced investigation into all the federal airports put up for concession by former President Muhammadu Buhari's government. The upper legislative chamber condemned the process adopted and declared that the exercise was not done in public interest. Senators, in their various contributions, lamented lack of adequate involvement of critical stakeholders in the process that led to the concession of two major airports carried out at the twilight of the Buhari administration. Let's share the story with you.
Presenting a motion on the floor of the parliament, lawmaker representing Kano South, Senator Kalu, challenges the concession of the Aminu Kano International Airport. The lawmaker is worried about the rationale behind the concession, and he faults the Federal Executive Council under the Buhari administration for not carrying out its due diligence before granting its approval.
Disturbs that this concession is clearly dubious, and the rise question on the process and what the actors stand to gain. Recall that the unions in the aviation industry embark on strike to question the integrity of the concessioning exercise, stressing that the concession of the airport away from PAN will necessarily cause or halt the employment of the staff involuntarily.
This same view is shared by other lawmakers who fault the hasty decision taken in awarding the concession of other airports under the previous administration. They want President Tinubu to recall these contracts and provide a level playing field to all stakeholders.
To allow this executive recklessness to continue to undo this nation. Enough is enough. This contract needs to be, this concession needs to be investigated, and then urgently let's have a report. And anybody that is found wanting must be brought to justice.
But all concessions done hurriedly and without following due process should be thoroughly investigated, reversed, and actions taken about it. So let's do that consolidation.
Let's not throw the baby with bathwater. What we are calling for is due diligence to be applied. And once there's a transparent process, then we should allow concessioning to be.
The Senate is interested in revisiting the past with regards to the concessioning of airports by President Buhari's administration. A big question for the lawmakers is the legality of these concessions and even the timing. However, the ball is now in the court of President Tinubu to review the concession of the airports in a more accountable and transparent manner. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
The federal government seems to have so many things right on that plate, and we don't have business in managing most of these facilities, especially the airports. Look at how it's done all over the world. It's not a normal thing that the federal government should, keep holding on to these things. But when they want to do it, these people are complaining about the process of concessioning.
If it's not transparent, they have every reason to complain. Nobody is saying don't concession. I am an advocate of build, operate, and transfer, because it even frees you the funds that are not even available if we get the private sector involved, But these are national assets. If you are to concession a national asset, the process has to be transparent. Let the bidding be made public in national dailies, so that everyone who feels that is qualified
must participate.
Will participate. You bid for it. That is what is called competitive bidding. Not bidding that is limited to your friends.
Friends and cronies.
People don't want to see that. No one is saying, government continue to run businesses. After all, look at Babalakin has been running that place for so long. Yes. And it's still properly run. The place is beautiful. When you get into it, you feel proud as a Nigerian. Up to now, whatever you have against Babalakin, you must that airport. It's over 10 years now. He's done it. He's run it properly. So this is the thing. It's not about sentiment. But in doing this, you must make the feed level for everybody. Rushing to concession airports at the twilight of the administration and just announcing that, oh, no now. People, you don't expect people to keep quiet when that happens. You just announce to them that, where is the process? You didn't show the process to anyone. I could be interested, for example, you could be interested. But you couldn't partake in the bidding process because it was not, you were not permitted to be able to get involved. So this is the quarrel of these people. I don't think any of them is against concession. No, we've seen concession work now. But let the process be transparent. It has to be published in national dailies. Once you do that, and the preferred bidder emerges, fine. But not doing that, believing that you own the country and just took a decision and you don't want people to complain. No, they will complain now. The person who just complained used to work for the president.
Like the airline that was easily put together, the last day of the administration, someone plane just landed at the airport and,
I think a lot of things, went wrong the last days of the government. And I think in national interest, we should not sweep these issues under the carpet. The airports we are talking about, they are, apart from being critical assets, they are national assets. In fact, the Aminu Kano Airport is a national heritage. It's the first airport in Nigeria, built in 1936, about 110 years old.
1936?
Yes. So you can't just, so the airports have significant networking with national security. When you want to do concession, yes, you are free to do concession, but you must be conscious of who are the people buying those airports. Why was it very easy for Israel to invade Uganda in Entebbe raid? They built the airport. So you must realize that security, if you go and sell your airports to a country and then you run into conflict with that country and then your airport is in their hands. So that's why we are saying that if you want to concession airports, yes, you can do it, but you must take a lot of things into consideration. The MM2 yes, about the enabling environment, the legislative and policy framework must be right. So I think I'm in full support of the senators that they have to. It's not a wish hunting.
Take a second look at it.
It's not wish hunting, but we need to look at the process, the deal, whether they follow their diligence in the interest of Nigerians. You know, the NSC raised objections, I think some years back, and they even offered alternative that we can copy what is going on in Ethiopia, where there is some level of autonomy for the airports, their own equivalent of farm. And also they sold some shares to the public, to Ethiopians, while the federal government their own federal government is holding some aspects. And then in Ethiopia, they invited private investors to invest different types, invest in runway, infrastructure, equipment. But at the end of the day, it is the state that still controls, they have a leeway over controlling share. So I think what happened is a national disgrace. And I hope that this probe is not just headline. We need to reverse these decisions taken in the interest of Nigeria. If you are doing concession for 30 years, you are robbing the coming government of creativity. It means that in the next 30 years, they are at your mercy, whereas you are no longer the one in charge of the country.
Okay, joining us via Zoom for more discussion on this is an aviation analyst, Olumide Onwayo. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Olumide.
Olumide, do you think the concessioning of this airport is in order?
That was in order. How? Or where? How can? The man was just to make it to pick the ball. Remember, even before the the May 29th when they announced, May 24th when they announced that the airport had been concession. They already taken policies that as part of those things that achieved, even before announcing those who won the concession. So that shows you that something is organized. Did I rightly said just before I came on air that there's a need to just crash that concession and begin to take a look at what to do with the airport process. And for the Senate, we've seen them before. We've seen their approach in the past. I have no excitement about that. We want to ask those that left that committee, elected that committee, what did they do to stop this man? The man was just a bully in China. We are very big together with him. And I don't envy the new minister. He's not going to sit down wrong. He needs to down when he's going to fall. He needs to see the ground stand, then take a look at what he's doing. There's so many landmines at the Honorable Senator. And one of them is this airport concession we talked about.
Is there, what can we do at this stage? Has it passed a stage?
Look, don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself. Anybody that goes to those airports just losing money. These are our money. You are just anybody that goes there or are giving him money for that for the airport for those airports. I can tell you with the union, with industry, those corporations that is not touch this happen. Even the government sector. So we know the aviation laws are very strong. And our clients, even those industries will work with them here and ensure that what is the right. You know, I'm just having I was confirmed by El-Rufai, the former governor for Kaduna, when he was leader for federal capital, and when the Yar'Adua case reversed it immediately. So I think I expect the thing to happen. And for me, if you ask me, I am not a fan of concession. They are 10 meters from Katsina. He has gone ahead to build the second runway at build another STP in making the Katsina airport. If was that competitive was a good issue, why did he start the concession with Katsina airport? Why did he go to Kano? Why did he start with Katsina airport? I'm not a fan of concession. I want to see an airport management company, like the other analyst said, take over fund for the next 10 years, revamp, reshape, restructure fund, then prepare it as an airport company. And that viable and can invest in the Nigerian airport within Nigeria after Nigeria. And and sell to the public. But not company. You are taking Abuja away. You want to take Abuja, Lagos, and Kano and Port Harcourt. The viable one. Yes, the same government collected Ebonyi Airport the very day that airport was opened. It was handed over to the federal government, and the president is taking over. They take over it, and the government is bleeding. They are adding more. Within the last 3 weeks, before they left office, they handed over Ebonyi Airport. They handed over Gombe Airport. To France, the former MD was going to Gombe to go and take possession of that airport. On his return, it was removed. Now, they're telling to 2 weeks to about 10 days to be handed over. So they forget about that concession. Whoever has gone there just wasting the time. Thank God the Lagos not even there. Because was already in court. So there's so many litigations waiting, different agitation, and even like you said, the litigation on the Nigerian air. So there's so many fines waiting for the new minister to clear. And I think one of them is just concession.
Walk us through what happened with Nigerian Air, because some of us were too dazed to even attempt to make any sense of it. But it's your sector, so you know much more than we know.
I don't know what I do. We were all dazed. We were all dazed that at the end of the day, after so much promises, taking the box and telling the Nigerians that the airline will fly, and the former president, even without doing his due diligence, also concluded that the airline was going to fly, and that was what we were told. But shockingly, what we saw was static display of the Nigerian logo that was unveiled 2018 in Tampa, England. So it was not the same. The difference was that the last time it was in software mode. Now they bought the hard copy from the logo to Abuja Airport on that day. Deceiving the world with the water cannon salute that aircraft. That aircraft does deserve the water cannon salute. It was not a first scheduled flight and not the first airport. So it was not a flight of the Nigeria. It was an Ethiopian Airlines who came on a scheduled flight after operating a scheduled flight on Monday, cleaned out, went in here on Friday. He will return to Addis Ababa on Sunday, and by Monday morning that aircraft was taken from Addis Ababa to Mogadishu. You can imagine the quality of an aircraft Ethiopia Airlines to put on Ethiopia on Mogadishu route. That's what they came to use to display for us. I think it was a sham, and I think it's better let history.
Some people will argue that, look, these facilities, the federal government have not even done well with it, as in that the federal government, then they can't manage this facility that is best in the hands of the private sector. Look at our international airports.
Yeah, I have not, if you listen to my position, I have not said it should remain managed by the federal government. I have asked that the government should call for people, airport managers, reputable airport management company. Not the one that will go tomorrow morning and go and register with the CAC and win the bid. No. Reputable airport company. Corporation and co on, you know, the Turkish airport company. Let airport company come and bid and turn around the management of the federal airport authority of Nigeria. They must start to 40 airports, they must 24 airports. And we have to put a material for Bible and you want to pull them out. How would you guys survive? So then you need to see how you can press the airports are ready with fund now. There's nothing they can do about it. You just have to find a way to manage it. Airports are needed. They might not be profitable in the beginning. They might not be profitable over in the first 30 years. But over time, if you plan, your plan is very well. Then you begin to have some profitability. And then for those who are more profitable, those will be less profitable. You cannot see how you can augment. And that's why I say, let us do the cherry picking of one or two, one to three good airports. Why don't you take the airport to get that? Put the institution is spread. It should move from federal airport authority to federal airport company. A company that will have financial statement and have the books open. And this will encourage investors. This will bring money back to the government. Even as of today, that is even money that the federal government takes 40% of the revenue. So that it has the potential to generate enough funds to make itself viable. But how would it be viable under the government, whereby the minister has direct control? In the last 8 years, the man did not appoint a bunch of directors to manage that organization. He was managing it directly. He was taking out the contract of the and implementing it. And there was no board. Only going to announce a board the day he was leaving. After working for 8 years. Just like the governor, who was an election for the government chairman in the factor. That's what he did. He was just managing directly. So what I'm saying like that, let us get the government airport management commission to come and bid and manage one in the entirety. Not the terminal, or selected terminal.
Well,
the beneficiaries of the concession, did you have any information about their credibility in the aviation industry?
Their standing.
Their standing. Are they well known? Are they established? And is there the prospect of litigation against the Nigerian government?
If it is reversed.
If it is reversed.
Well, we've always had litigation and we've always had to pay to our note. We paid for an airline that landed on the wrong way, that was being repaired, and the aircraft was damaged to pay. Where you have MMC that we were praising this, those who were supposed to be there before, took the government to court. And they got damaged, the one, and the government was supposed to pay. Even MMC today is in court. With the federal airport authority of Nigeria, it has not been resolved, and multiple judgments have been given in favor of MMC. So there are so many litigations within and around the airport and the aviation industry that has been concession that has not been resolved. That we also need to resolve before we can attract investors. And that's why I said there's no way you can have the investors come for those airports that the way they were advertised, the way they were moved. Except I can tell you, those who finally came, while those who are friends and colleagues of the minister are not reputable airport management companies. We do not recognize them as that. So also I don't think I know they will not be stupid from not earning any money yet. and they're just waiting for the government to tell them whether they can move or not. But I can tell you, it's dead on arrival.
Do we have any kind of concessioning arrangement with the Chinese government? I see a new terminal in Lagos, another new terminal in Abuja, built by the Chinese government. What's the nature of that arrangement?
That's another conundrum on its own. The loan was collected under the President Goodluck Jonathan government to build this fourth terminal, and we're going to pay back those loans after over a period of time. But that's to pay back them loans, they're supposed to pay by revenue generated by the airport. But the one in Lagos was not built at the appropriate rate. The airport master plan wasn't followed. And the one wasn't followed.
The one in Lagos?
The one in Lagos, yes. So the airside is not big enough to take the bigger aircraft. Most of the international airlines have refused to go. Beautiful terminal, no doubt, but mobile is a terminal whereby the airlines are not going there. So you can see that the big airlines are not going there. It's small that are going there. So in order to get enough space for that airport, now they are demolishing other people's investments, the hangar, they demolish the old AID, DOT, and some other ports of the demolished, yet they still cannot find that
space.
Find the solution to that space issue. You see, also when public officials, whether in or out of government, are made to face consequences of the actions of this illegality, this irresponsibility and radicality will continue to be active.
What's the state of the Lagos runway now, the second runway?
Well, it has been opened and the airlines are using it. I think there's an issue with, I think one of the license and wrong license, I think they are working. I think that has also been for now, and we have it full of.
You are talking about the Ebonyi airport. Have you seen the airport at close quarters? Well,
I've not been to Abakaliki, so I cannot tell you. But what I think is when a governor brings out the money from the part of the city to build an airport, when you do an airport, you must have a plan. There must be a master plan. There must be a business plan. There must be a business. When you build and you name it after the former president, you name the airport after the former president, and the same day you said you are not interested in the airport again, that the federal government will take it over. So why did you build it in the first place? Why did you build it in the first place? You have a reason for building the airport. Just because if people are bold enough to go the way Asaba, the federal government did there, they build that, and then the cultural airport, and the airport is running. Bayelsa has built there, and they are managing their own airport. And but the employment, commissioned the airport about 40,000 before he left, and he immediately handed over to the federal on the same day. So he had no plan. He had no plan. So now that I'm giving to Fan now, it was not part of Fan's budget. Fan must find some money to manage that airport, pending when they cannot implement the next year's budget. So it was not planned before. Something has become the airport. And these are the problems that come to Fan Street, and everybody keeps blaming Fan when Fan themselves are just like a government agency, they pushed around by the minister and pushed around by the government in power.
A good chunk of the money spent on that airport actually came from the federal government, because he confessed on the day that the airport was inaugurated that at a point he ran out of money, and the president ordered the finance minister to provide funds. Perhaps
was that right? If it is dealing with their funds, Ogun State is dealing with their funds, why would you bring out money for the state government? Why do you choose states that will fund the airport, where some other who also are struggling with other basic amenities are funding their own airport? Was it the federal government that asked them to buy with the airport? So why would they do that? Let us be reckless with our finances. And we're not prioritizing them.
I want to thank you, Olumide Onwayo. I want to thank you for your intervention. We'll take this break.